Well, we've now officially made it to Mississippi. Can you spell Mississippi? We're now to Cave Springs, which in theory we can go in the caves. I don't know. But we just entered Mississippi and passed some of the Indian mounds. Not sure which Indians. But here's the Cave Springs area. So, Cave Springs. The one thing I want to point out is the water is now unsafe to drink and the cave is dangerous. So, Cave Springs. Hey look, they have a little button you can push if you can't read. The removal of listening, audio description.
In the illustration on this exhibit, titled Tears to Triumph, a Chickasaw wagon train moves west toward Oklahoma during Indian removal.
In the 1830s, the U.S. policy of Indian removal forced the Chickasaw to leave their homeland. One of their trails to Indian territory crossed the Natchez Trace just south of here. Although they had negotiated greater control over their forced removal than other tribes, nothing changed the Chickasaws' profound loss. Yet, they refused to be victims. Instead, they called upon their warrior traditions during the long, sometimes deadly journey west. The Chickasaw paid their own way, chose their route, and brought their belongings. Resettled, they successfully rebuilt their nation.
The removal parties passed from left to right.
So, this I guess is the big cave that they're saying we shouldn't go down into. So we'll let Tarzan go do that first. Alright. Whoa. Okay. Let's see if there's bats down there. It's a pretty big cave. Look at all the moss. Wow. So, Chickasaw Indians. Oh, there's an animal down there, I know. Come on, let's get out of here before you get eaten. Alright, well, we got a little scared. Sure, in the camera you heard something. Some kind of animal down there. But anyway, we're running for safety. Okay guys, we're at the Far Mounds, which I'm presuming is the Far Indians, but the Indians were a nomadic group of Indians that lived here from 1 to 200 AD, and they built 8 large mounds to bury their dead and their possessions, over 90 acres. You can see all the mounds out here. No, those are hay bales. And there goes the drone, looking for the Indians. These are hay bales, just in case you don't know. These were actually gathered by the Indians, I suppose. So we're still heading out to one of the mounds. There are tons of them out there. Of the 8 mounds, you'll see how far we had to come. And Tarzan's worried. So I'm sure this is holy land from 2,000 years ago. Sacred burial site. Indians buried their dead with possessions. It's unbelievable. Probably not even allowed to walk up it. Well, I'll make the sign of the cross. That'll take care of it. But it's a sacred Indian mound here. I could be walking on thousands of Indians from 2,000 years ago, right here on the mound. See the other mounds off there in the distance. So this was a sacred burial place. They would travel here from pretty far, bury their dead, and then travel back and make the journey. So, alright, well, so we made it to the Natchez Trace Visitor Center. Yes, I get bounced around here. And this is where we're going to get our stamp for our National Park book. We'll give Tarzan a chance to run through some more leaves. So this is an American beech tree, and if you look at it, it's kind of fascinating. All the branches that are heading in what appears to be a northern direction, which of course goes to show you how the wind is probably coming from the south and heading north through this particular area. But all the branches are leaning over like they're grabbing something in this direction, and very few branches on the southern side of that tree. So a little bit of trivia. Well, here's where we travel. So this is the third day, and this is the Takish. So it's a name for a Chickasaw word meaning tree root. So this is where in 1539, 1540, 1541, Fernando de Soto spent the winter on those picnic tables, I guess. So, mounds, no, not that one. Those over there. And we're gonna go find out what's going on. So obviously along this trace it's a great number of ancient Indian mounds. These mounds date back below 0 AD, so they date back 2050 years to 1800 years. So Indians used it for about 250 years. And these are the Bynum, B-Y-N-U-M, if that's how to pronounce it. And the Indians usually buried their dead in these mounds. And it looks like they had villages here at one point. Bynum was typical of the woodland period, the time between 1,000 and 3,000 years ago. Small-scale garden, mound building, semi-permanent village pottery, each influence and reinforce the woodland culture. So another fascinating little piece of history here, and we'll take a little trek down back to the mounds. Now in this location it looks like they actually built villages here, and then the mounds were where they would place their dead. And quite large mounds. Two of them, it looks like, at this location. And then there was a Indian village down here. So we've come across this little French village. It's called French Camp. It's a historic village and gift store. There is a little Baptist church here. They also have various farming devices, and there's an old cabin in the back, and who knows what that is. But anyway, we can visit this place, and it's right off the trace, right before Jackson. Beautiful example of a log cabin with mud used in between the various logs. And closed, whatever it is, the council house closed to January 1st. Hey, come on. What a cute little place. There's also another cabin behind it. Go visit that. You can see the recreation of an actual cabin from the 1800s. Barlow Blue. Oops. Little bazaar. Oh, this is pretty cool. Got little cups. Homemade food. Nice little gift store. Pretty cool. So I guess at night this is pretty cool. There's this is French Camp, so there's a building over there, an old log cabin over there. It's kind of a nice little area just for the locals.